Hey everyone, back with RJ Productions. I'm gonna be doing the 5 negatives on the 23.5 CVO Road Glide here. Obviously, we already have a video out that Ron has a video out for the pros. Go and check that video out if you haven't seen it. But right now, we're gonna be doing the 5 negatives. This is just my opinion. Ron's gonna be doing his separately, and so right now I'm gonna talk about the suspension side. The suspension is, obviously it's the best that Harley's done in a long time. Usually when you buy a lot of bikes, you've got to go out and buy upgraded suspension, Öhlins, and other different brands that provide great suspension with adjustability. So this CVO Road Glide is the first time Harley has come out with a little bit of different style. The negative to this suspension for me is going to be no adjustability for the front, which obviously we see that they have come out with on the 24 ST models, CVO ST models, which is super, which I get it, right? I mean, they've got to be able to bring out another product to be able to sell more Harleys and stuff. So I kind of understand that, but the talk that was kind of discussed, or kind of what we were hearing, was that the suspension was going to just be like top of the line. The suspension is, for me, is, I would say out of a 1 to 10, I would say it's probably going to be around a 6. The reason I pick a 6 is because there's a little bit of adjustability here in the back of the bike, right? So you're able to set your preload for you and your rider, and then you're able to have some adjustability when it comes to adding luggage and more weight to the bike, which is great. But as far as the front suspension, there's no adjustability to be able to lighten up on the dampening, or to be able to make it a little stiffer. As we ride across the US, the roads vary depending on where you're at, whether if they're rough or smooth or anyway. So it would have been great for them to be able to put that adjustability into the front part of the bike, but here we are. So my second negative thing for the 23.5 CVO Road Glide is going to be the Apple CarPlay. Obviously, a lot of people had this at the very beginning when the bikes started coming out. People were posting questions of, how do I get Apple CarPlay to work? It seems like the headset has to be connected in order for the Apple CarPlay to work. I thought it was super cool that Harley took the initiative to be able to give you a free headset, but the headset was, as much as these bikes run and cost, I think the headset could have been a little bit higher grade. With Ron having his and then me having my headset, we tried both of them, and neither one of those headsets would work accurately once you got them installed into the helmet. So with the Apple CarPlay, that has been the frustrating part, is having to have a headset connected to it. So I know there are people that have come out with adapters now that we're able to put underneath the seat. I'll get into that a little bit later when I give some more details of all the things and upgrades that we've done to the bike. Number 3 is going to be the saddlebags. Obviously, Harley, to be able to get weight reduction on the bike, they obviously made the saddlebags a lot thinner, less durable. So I did some upgrades on the speakers, but I can already start to see a little bit of the wear that is going to happen to that saddlebag lid, just due to the weight of the speaker and the lid not having an actual really good structure behind it to support it. So really, when you're opening it up, you have to support the lid. You got to make sure that you don't just let the lid fall, because over time it's going to cause effects to where you're going to have a lot of wear and tear, and potentially could rip that hinge off. So I think it's great for the weight reduction. It's just, once you start putting upgrades on those speakers, on those lids, you're going to start to see issues down the road. So that's kind of a negative for me. And then I feel like on my 4th negative is going to be basically the Harley Davidson with the VVT model. The 23.5 CVOs and Road Glides and Street Glides, we see that they put in the VVT here in the 121 engine, and then I mean, probably not 6 months later, maybe 8 months later, they come out with the CVO ST, which has the 121 engine in it without the VVT. And I feel like as a consumer purchasing the bike, I feel like Harley just totally gave up on the VVT, which is a negative for me. So now we're having to wait a little bit longer for people to do more performance upgrades. We might not even see people do performance upgrades to be able to keep the VVT in. We know that you can delete the VVT by upgrading the cam and doing all that stuff, but the whole purpose and the thing that we really loved about the bike the year prior to it coming out was the option for the VVT and the performance side of it. So it's kind of frustrating for Harley to kind of just give up on the VVT here and kind of leave us, you know, however many of these bikes they produce, and just leave the consumer out there hanging on as far as performance. So, and then number 5, probably my only, I mean, I don't know if this would be the top, go to the top of the list, but my number 5 is going to be just the brake pedal. I feel like the brake pedal's position, right? Of course, there's options to be able to go out and get additional to move the brake pedal in a different position. I think it just, as far as like the footboards and the way that was positioned, I just feel like there really wasn't enough thought into where that brake pedal should be positioned, especially on a performance bike. Because when we really look at it as a whole, when we're trying to run these bikes, I'm a super aggressive rider, Ron as well, he's super aggressive. But when you get into those types of deals, I mean, having to go in and spend money to be able to change the position of the brake pedal, for me, is kind of frustrating. But so those are my top 5 negatives. Here shortly, I'm going to be doing a little bit of reviews of the things that I've done to the bike. So come and check that video out, and Ron's going to go through some of his stuff as well. And so we will catch up with you here shortly. Thanks.